folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly play Snap Ship Tactics. So, in the last video that I published for this particular game, I went over the general rules and did a couple of example turns. Today we're going to try and play a game against the AI to see how well I do. I think I've got most of the rules down right, but I have to stress that I'm still learning the game, and as such I might get a little wrong or two, but I'm here to spread awareness, have some fun, and show off some really cool games. And this one appeals to me, A, because the ships are really cool, and B, I love the idea of outfitting different ships with different kinds of ship parts that do different things. So let's get right down to it. I am playing as the Sabre XF-23 fighter, and I have this particular ability, which is before a critical hit location on the ship is rolled, if you have no disabled parts, you choose which part is disabled. Okay, so if a critical hit is assigned to me, I get to choose which one gets disabled, which I guess would be nice to have. And then moving on to the AI deck, it's the same one that we did for our example purposes. It's the Scarab KLAW Interceptor. And this AI deck has 4 cards. We'll be flipping one every turn to see what it does. Its health is 13, which is this here. And as I mentioned in my previous video, I had issues with this dial, trying to get it to snap on. It broke. So I'll be using, I start at 15 health, and then I'll just pretend like there's a 1 there. But everything else hopefully will go smoothly. So this is an asteroid field, and when ships enter this area, they get to roll a free missile defense. If any missiles happen to be locked onto them, they get like a free missile roll to try and shoot them down. This one, upon entering this debris field, they get a free evasion tick. So if I had 2 evasion here, I'd be able to put that up to 3. And then these clouds allow you to remove 1 blue or red cube from your ship parts in order to cool them down quicker. The blue cubes are power cubes, and I have 7 of those. And red cubes off to the side here are heat cubes. These can be put on as much as you want from the supply, but they come at a cost. If you take a critical hit on a ship part that has heat on it, the red cubes, you take extra damage. You lose the heat, but you take some extra damage, so it's nasty. Anyway, let's go ahead and just jump right into the game. If you want to see particulars of what's in the box and how the game is typically played, go check out my other video. I'll put a link to that in the below description. Because of this camera angle, I do have the tripod sort of moved back, so if I get my big head in the way, I apologize, but I kind of have to reach over on occasion to maneuver the ships. I do have my laser pointer this time, so hopefully I can measure angles and different things like that as I need to. Okay, well, let's just get it started. The player takes the first turn and gets to decide where they want to go on the field. So let's see, and the enemy ship stays off until his turn, so I'll be an immediate target as soon as my turn is over. So the question is, do I want to start over here? Do I want to start here and possibly get some defense and maybe maneuver into this? I'm thinking that might be a good ploy. Again, I'm not exactly sure what the strategies are. I will say that, you know, these defenses do matter. There's a hard dashed line, an outline around this asteroid field. And whenever you're shooting through that, your opponent has -1 total damage, so it's hard cover. Whereas if you maneuver into, say, this soft dotted outline field here, again, this is like a cloud that allows you to reduce heat, but there's a secondary effect, which is soft cover, and it +2 to hit on any weapons. So shooting through either of these 2 things will be beneficial to your opponent. So you want to try and not shoot through these things if at all possible, but you do want to land on them to gain their benefit, whether it be a free missile roll against missiles, a free evasion, removing power heat cubes from your cards. So I'm thinking I just maybe enter the field here, like so, and maybe try and just land here, or maybe end my turn there. I'm not sure. I don't know really what the strategies are. And I'll explain the ship parts as we actually get to them. So the first thing I have to do on my turn is set my evasion to 2, which I've already done. I remove 5 power/heat cubes, which I don't need to because I'm fully ready to go. And then I have to optionally, if I want to, tick left or right 1 time and then make a long move. So the question is, do I want to turn right now, or do I just make a long move right into this? I think I just make a long move right into this. So I'm going to do that. All right, Snuggie, and then put that on the other side. Great. Now, if I had any missiles on me at this point in time, I'd be able to make a free defense roll against those missiles, which is nice. That's what this asteroid field does. If my opponent were to shoot at me, though, right now, and he was coming from this direction, he would not be shooting through the hard cover. So, like if he was coming this way, he'd have to shoot through it. But if he was coming this way, he wouldn't have to shoot through it. So that's kind of dangerous for me to stay there, honestly. But that was what I have to do for the beginning of my turn. And now I move on to, that was my chassis actions. And now I can move on to my ship parts. This is where I spend my cubes to activate various ship parts to do various things on my ship. So what do I want to do? I think I want to end up here. I really do. So I'm thinking I activate the jump engine, the top half of the card. That'll allow me to tick once to the left and then do a long. So I need to assign 2 blue power cubes to that part, and I'll just put them right on there. And I'm going to tick turn once, like that, and then I need to make a long move. And I'll try and be as accurate as possible, but, you know, with equipment attached to me and stuff like that. All right, so there's that. So that was my maneuver there. I have to pick one of these 2 things. I can't do both. If a card has 2 things on it, I have to pick one of them if I want to do an action on that card. Speaking of which, I think I'm just going to take an evasion. It just makes sense to me. I'm going to go ahead and just take a free evasion by paying 1 blue cube. Do that, and I'm going to tick my evasion up to 3 should he get cheeky and want to shoot at me right from the start. And I'm really tempted just to stay here. And on top of that, I get a free evasion because I landed in the debris field. So my evasion is now 4, which is kind of nice. Now the question is, do I want to stay like this? I don't know which way he's entering. Do I maybe turn to the right? Maybe use my maneuvering fins to give myself a bit more leeway. If I turn to the right, then I'll be ready for him if he comes this way, or from the top. Whereas if he comes in this way, I'll have a harder time turning my vehicle around. So I'm thinking I use my maneuvering fins to just rotate once this way. So I'm going to get my template. Let's see. There's that. And then I'm going to just tick it this way once. Okay, awesome. All right, so that was 1, 2, 3, 4 cubes that I spent. At the beginning of my next turn, I can clear all of them, no problem. So I think I'm done there, honestly. My cockpit, when you perform an attack action, spend 1 or 2 power on this part to reroll that many dice. Okay, so I don't need to do that right now. And I think my turn is over at this point. So now we get to spawn the AI. And I know the table's kind of, you know, I'll try and get up there if I need to. I prefer not to. So let's just see what he rolls first and go from there. Okay, he rolled a 1. So we're just going to say that this is the 1, 2, 3 spot. This is the 4, 5, 6 spot. And that is the 7, 8, 9 spot. It's just easier for me. So he's going to come in on this side of the board like that. I'm trying really hard not to like get the cards down here involved in the combat. I'll try and like make the cutoff right here if I can. So maybe up a little bit more. And again, this is kind of janky, but you know, it's fine. So we're going to spawn him there. And now we're going to draw the first card from the AI deck. And this is just a back. This is a reminder of what his health is, what the difficulty of the ship size is. And then if I do a critical hit on him, I roll a die and see what kind of effect happens. His special ability is during a collision or ram, reroll 1 of your dice that misses. So he's really good at close range, and he does prefer to ram ships, so I want to stay away from him. So he's going to change his evasion to 3, which I've already done. That's typical for his ship. He's going to turn 1 tick toward me and then do a soft, like a short move. So again, he doesn't have to do the full turn tick thing. He can do like just enough to point at me. And if I really want to get obsessive compulsive about it, I mean, I think that's good enough, right? So he didn't do the full turn tick. And then he's going to do a one short, which is going to be something like, and again, I apologize if my head is in the way. I really can't see the camera right now. All right, good enough. So that was a short, and he was forced to do that. And now he's going to do this part here. He gets 3 actions. So he's going to go down the list, and any conditions that are true he will perform, but only once per card. So he's going to see, is he in range 2, 3, or 4 plus? Yes, he is. He's going to do a long move and then do a free evade. So he does a long that puts him into the field. Now he doesn't have any ship parts, which is interesting. He doesn't have to really clear off cubes as much as a normal player would from the looks of it. So he does a long one there. And his evade goes from 3 to 4. Okay. All right, so that was one of his 3 actions, and this action is, are there any missiles assigned to him that would do 9 or more damage? The answer is no. However, this is also an attack as well. Like, this symbol is multi-use. This is saying, okay, is the enemy in the front arc, and is it range 1? Well, no. I'm in the front arc, but I'm not at range 1. The range is measured via a ruler like this. This is 2, range 2. And this is half of that is range 1. Definitely not range 1. I'd say we're at range 2 right now. So there's that. So we're going to skip that. Okay, is the enemy at range 1? No. Is the enemy in the rear arc? No. Okay. He gets 2 free evade. So he's up to 6 right now, which is not great. So when I try and hit him, my dice have to be like at least 6 or higher, which is ridiculous. All right, so that was his second action. And now his third action is, well, can he do any of these other 3 that we skipped over? No, so he misses that. I believe I read if he cannot perform his third action, he'll clear some heat cubes, but he doesn't have any really to clear, so that's the end of his turn. Okay, so with that being said, we're going to move into my turn now, and the very first thing I'm going to do is set my evasion to 2. All right, and if I move into this again on my turn, I do not get this benefit. You have to fully leave an obstacle and then re-enter it in order to get that benefit again. However, I can kind of still hug this for purposes of soft cover, which this is what will provide me if he decides to shoot through it. But I have to do, I can remove, I set my evasion to 2. I have to remove 5 cubes. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So all of my cubes are out. And now I can turn if I want and do a long. So the question is, yeah. I really don't want to like rush him right now. I kind of want to stay at range if I can. That long is going to kill me, I think. I could rotate this way and then come right at him, but my concern is I'll be at range 1 at that point, but then where do I go from there? I think I need to like stay away from him and concentrate on missiles if I can. And again, we're at range 2 right now. This is a perfect missile shot for me, but I have to do my chassis action first, which is tick and then move. So I'm thinking I get away from him and then possibly turn and shoot. So I'm going to do something different. I want to stay at range. I'm going to observe my free tick that I get, a tick of 1. I'm going to do something like that. And then I'm going to do a long move from there. And this kind of keeps me in this soft cover, which is kind of good. So if he ever shoots through that, then I'll get some kind of benefit. Now, my turn isn't over yet. I can still do these actions. I'm very tempted to now turn and do a missile attack. Now, my missile attack is a 180-degree arc. So my question is, am I... no. So it's definitely not. I'd have to turn a little bit. So what I'm going to do, I think, is use my maneuvering fins, stay where I'm at, and just turn to the right a little bit so I can get into proper missile range. So I'm just going to tick like that, I think. Did I do that right? Yeah, I'm good. Yep, so I'm gonna do that. And I can always fly off to the left if I need to, but I'd use my maneuvering fins, and now I'm going to use my missile pod. And am I in his 180 arc, and am I at range 2 or 3? I'm probably, yeah, I mean, I'm confident I'm still at range 2, definitely at range 2. So I can now just launch 4 missiles at him and assign him that damage at the end of his turn, assuming he doesn't shoot them down. So I'm going to assign just 4 missiles. 1, 2, 3, 4. But this is delayed. He's got some time to shoot these down before anything happens. Again, if he entered this, he would get a free missile. He would get a free attack against these missiles to shoot them down. But I don't think he's going to do that. He's going to probably prioritize me. So from there, I have to then put a blue cube on here. And I have to put 3 red cubes. That's a little dangerous. I really want to get out of there. I don't like where I'm at. Now, this one, if I was in his forward arc, I could shoot him with this autocannon, but I don't think that would be a good hit. His evasion is 6 right now. He hasn't reset it yet because it's not his turn. So shooting at him right now is probably really bad. But what's cool is his evasion will reset at the beginning of his turn, and then I'll have to deal with these missiles at the end of his turn. So attacking him now doesn't seem very smart. But these missiles are delayed, so they'll probably get through at the end of his turn. We'll see what happens. But what do I do? Do I just get away from him and then cool off and then try again? Just stay away from him. That's going to be tough. I could do, I've already used my maneuvering fins. I could do the wings. I could stay where I'm at and do an evade, and at least I'd get an extra evade should he come at me. But part of me also wants to turn away and get out of there. So maybe I do something like this. I can do a short strafe out of the obstacle and then maybe rotate to the left. But here's another issue. If you expose your flank to the enemy, he gets bonuses. Depending, if he's fully in your 180 rear, he'll get something. And if he's fully in your 90 rear, then he'll get something even better. He'll get just a free damage, which is really bad. So I really don't want to point away from him either, if at all possible. So I think I use this to strafe left away from him and maybe tick toward him. I don't know. Like this is the part that always gets me. I'm not sure what the best move is. I could also rotate and just hightail it straight, like rotate it and hope that he doesn't catch up to me. But you never know. Anything could happen. I also don't want to add too many cubes to my systems and not be able to clear them off. So I'm thinking I just do the evade. I'm just going to add a single evade. That way I can clear off 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's 5 already. This is 6 cubes on here. So I really want to get another missile attack in if at all possible. Do I just not do anything at this point? Maybe I just stay put, clear these off on my next turn, and I'll have everything available to do whatever I want. That might be something to think about. Although this evade might come in handy when he gets close enough. I think I risk it. I'm going to go ahead and add the evade so that I get 1 evade from this. And this will bring my evasion from 2 to 3. I think I'm going to need it. Yes, I've got the soft cover, but I don't know what he's going to do. So there's 6 cubes on there. Do I push my luck and do something else? I don't think I do. So I'm going to end my turn with that, and now the computer is going to go. So we're going to flip another card and see what he does. Okay. So he's going to reset his evasion here to 3. And so from 6 to 3. Okay. And now he's going to go, he's going to tick toward me once and do a short move. All right. So he's going to tick toward me once. And again, I'm going to try and do the best I can here. I'm going to tick it. I guess that's... Again, you don't have to do the full. I mean, that's fine. Okay. I'm trying not to be too obsessive compulsive about it. It's not a tournament. All right. So we're going to do something like that. And then a short move. All right. So again, he would not get the benefit of this because he's still in it. If he had any cubes to remove, he would not take that advantage, nor would I get this evasion because I'm still there. Anyway, so that's what he did, and now he gets 3 actions, which I'm a little concerned about. First of all, missiles. So targeting missiles. So I'm thinking this means if I have any missiles on him, he's going to try and shoot them down. Okay, so like I was saying, this particular icon is twofold. One is, are there any missiles assigned to this ship? The answer is yes. If there hadn't been, we would check to see if he could reach me at range 1 in this arc and fire with this. But he does have missiles assigned to him right now, so this is kind of pointless at the moment. What he is going to do is now he's going to make an attack roll against each of these missiles individually. And if we flip these over, you'll see that the quality of this missile is 5. That's the number that he has to hit in order to shoot this thing down. The rest of this is more of like what happens when the missile hits, which is basically just 2 damage. So, and I also have to roll here against his evasion score in order to do that 2 damage. But for right now, we're only paying attention to the left side. The missile quality is 5. So he's going to roll 4 dice, and on a 5 or higher, he's going to shoot them down. So he's got a 4, a 2, a 5, and a 7. So he shoots down 2 of the missiles, but the other 2 still get through. So that was his first action. And now he's going to move down here. He's going to target me specifically. Am I in his forward firing arc? I think so. And from the looks of it, I am in his very forward firing arc here. It looks like it. Let's just take a look. Yeah, I'd say so. So he's definitely there. And also, is he within range 3? Yes, he's within range 3. So he's going to roll 2 dice. And depending on the results of my evasion, it says 2 plus evasion score. So my evasion score right now is 3 because I upped it from the previous turn. So 2 plus 3 is 5. However, I do have this soft cover as well, which is a plus 2 to hit. So he's only going to hit me on a 7 or higher with his shot. So let's go ahead and take a look here. It's a 4 and a 6, meaning none of these are 7 or higher, so he misses. And again, that came from that chance to hit. This little symbol says 2 dice, and then it's a 2 by default. 2 to hit, plus my evasion, which is 3. So 2 plus 3 is 5. And again, the soft cover gave me an additional 2, making it 7. So he needed a 7 or better in order to hit me, and he didn't. So he missed with that attack. So he cannot do either of these 2 things because he's already done them. And then he's going to move on to one of these 2. This one, if I'm in his rear arc, he's going to turn toward me. And then this one is just a large straight and then increase his evasion by 1. So that's what he's going to do. He's just going to move forward. He's going to do a long move forward. And I don't think he hits me, luckily, but the models may touch each other, yeah. So this is going to get janky. Okay, so I did not collide with him, for the record, which is good. Collisions are bad. He did move on to this, however. So he does get a free evasion on top of the evasion he got from his card. So he's up to 5 evasion. 3 by default, 1 from the action, and 1 from landing on this, which is super lucky for him. But now at the end of his turn, he has to now deal with the missiles that were about to run into him. So we're going to take a look here. And his... Okay, so my chance to hit, I roll 1 die for each missile that's still alive. And I have to do a 0 plus his evasion score. His evasion is 5. So I hit him on a 5 or better. So I'm going to roll 2 dice because that's how many missiles are left. And it's a 3 and a 2. They both whiff. So there you go. A really low scoring game right now. But that's what happens, I guess. All right, so now we're going to move on to my turn. And I need to get out of there. Because first I set my evasion to 2. And I'm going to remove 5 cubes. The missiles I really can't do anything with right now. I'm going to clear off the 3 red and the blue and the blue. From here, I do have a blue still left on my missiles because I don't think I'm going to be able to shoot them this round. I have to perform my chassis, which is turn left or right if I want to, like tick left or right, and then move along. Now, if I tick this way and move, there's a good chance I'm going to overlap him. I'm pretty sure that would, yeah. So I would have to probably tick this way and move that way, which is not ideal because I'd have to lean over the table to do it. But I'm going to try. So we're going to definitely tick one this way, and then we're going to long move. Oh, boy, this is going to be fun. All right. And there we go. All right, so we're gonna definitely try and get out of there if we can, because our missile attack did not work. It did not work. So now we're gonna move on to our parts stuff. Missiles are kind of bad right now. Can we maybe loop around here? Just maybe try and get around him. Maybe I need to do some really fancy flying. This one allows me to just turn around right at him, but as you can see, it uses a lot of cubes. I could do a long and then just do like a U-turn, but I have to spend a lot to do it, which I'm concerned about. I'm tempted just to do the top half and just tick once to the right maybe and just do a long to try and get behind him. And then maybe use my maneuvering fins to turn and use my auto cannons on his rear here. The problem is his evasion is 5 right now, but at least I'm not shooting through soft cover. If I managed to get around this way, I wouldn't be shooting through this. So there may be something to be said about trying to get around him. So let's do that. I am going to use this jump engine to, so I need 2 blue cubes. 1, 2. I'm going to tick, it's a red. That's a blue, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to tick once. Again, I apologize if I'm in the way, but, so we're going to tick, and then long. I'm going to move over there. Okay. All right, I thought that's not terrible. And now maybe I use my maneuvering fins to tick twice. Actually, if I had cleared off this missile, I probably would have been in range to actually use it now that I'm thinking about it, but I'll deal with that later. I could do some kind of, what do I do? Maybe I use my auto cannons instead this turn. So I think I'm going to use my maneuvering fins to tick twice. I'm going to use the bottom half of the maneuvering fins card to tick twice toward him so that my forward arc is facing him. And then I'll probably use my auto cannon attack. And I can measure range before doing this. I'm at range 2 if I had to get, yeah, it's range 2. So yeah, I could use the auto cannon. So I'm going to use 2 blue cubes to tick twice toward him, which is risky because he could just ram me on his next turn, and I'm a little concerned about that. So if I do like tick twice and go 1 and then 2, and now I've got my forward arc facing him, which there's the one, it's barely in arc, but it's there. So I could now use that. I'm going to spend my last 2 blue cubes to use my autocannon to see if I hit. Now I'm not shooting through the obstacle here, which is nice, but I still have to deal with his high evasion. So am I in his, or is he in my forward arc? Yes. Am I at range 2 or 1? Yes. I get to roll 4 dice, and on a hit, it's 2 plus his evasion score, and they just do 1 damage each, which is kind of pitiful. His evasion is 5. I need to roll a 7 or better, but I get to roll 4 dice, so let's see how that goes. This could go really bad, I'm just saying. Oh, I got a 7, a 3, 6, and a 4. I got 1 hit out of all of that. Again, his 5 plus the 2 to hit at 7. So I got a 7. I do 1 damage to him. He's down to 12, which isn't great considering the amount of work I just did to try and get myself there. But I really can't do anything else. So my turn is done. I have a feeling he's now going to destroy me. He's going to destroy me. So we're going to flip his 3rd AI card over, and he's going to reset his evasion to 3. So we're going to go down to 3 like so. And he's going to tick toward me and then do a short move, which, again, I have a feeling this is going to go really bad. He's really maneuverable. So he's going to tick toward me. He can't do it fully, and then he's going to do a short move. So we're going to flip that. And we're just going to move him up like this. Okay. So he's there at the moment. This is... it's not looking good for me. All right, so what's he going to do? He is going to... is he in... or am I in his forward 40-degree arc? I don't know. He's too... No, he's not. So we're going to skip that one. No missiles are assigned to him, and I'm not within his 45-degree arc. Missile attack. Are there any missiles assigned to him? No. Is he in my right or left arc? The answer is yes. So he's going to tick toward me twice. Oh, no. Oh, gosh, no. Oh, I'm so screwed. Okay, so we're going to go 1. And he's going to tick enough to, like, just do something like that, I think. All right. That was this action. And now for his second action, he's going to see, okay, he's definitely in that 45. He's going to do 2 dice, and the chance to hit is 2 plus my evasion score, which is a pitiful 2. So 2 plus 2 is 4. Let's just see what he rolls. It's a 7 and a 4, so both of them hit, and I take 2 damage. So I'm down to 13 health. Okay, but luckily, oh, no, 2 damage each. So that's, I take 4 damage. I'm down to 11. Okay, I'm down to 11. Each one was 2 damage apiece, which is nasty. So he rolls 2 dice, 2 plus my evasion score, which is 4 total, 2 damage each. But that was all he did for his turn. And now there's only 1 AI card left here, so now we take these and this and shuffle them up, and that's a new deck. Okay, in case you memorize the cards, you don't know what's coming for that 4th card. All right, so now it's my turn, and I'm in a Bantha Poodoo. So I'm going to reset my evasion to 2, which it already is. I'm going to remove 5 cubes. Now the question becomes, what do I remove? These autocannons just aren't working for me. So I think I concentrate on the missiles, these 2 and these 2. Just get them out of there. Okay, and I'll leave the autocannons for later. I'm going to try and do another missile attack. I think that's my strength, if I can just get into a position to actually get them off. So, how do I want to play this? I have to do my chassis first and do a long... I think maybe I tick this way, and then I do a long, so as long as I don't go off the table, I'll be okay. So I'm going to tick once that way, and then do a long, like that. Oh, good enough. Okay. Again, we're not being perfect here. That was my chassis, and now I can do these. Okay. What do I do? I think I'm at range 2, so if I do manage to turn, I can totally do a missile attack on him, and he's probably not going to get any free evasion from here again. So missiles might be a good idea if I can turn around and do it, and then somehow get out of there before he wrecks me. So the question now is, I could use my maneuvering fins and then my missiles, and then what? So I just to keep the video moving, I'm going to do my maneuvering fins bottom half and tick twice toward him, just so I've got my 180-degree arc facing him. So I'm going to do 1 tick there, and then 1 tick there. Okay, definitely in the 180 now. And now I have to do 1 blue and 3 red. And I am at range 2. And now I just get to just fire 4 missiles at him again. And I'll put them down here. And they're green missiles. They're different. The missiles in this game are different depending on what missiles you're using. These are like the light missiles, but other missiles do different things, in case you're wondering. So now I've got 2 blue cubes left. Do I do a jump engine to try and get out of there? Do I just add an evasion just to hope that he doesn't just destroy me? Like, I'm very tempted to just jump, but if I jump this way, he could just turn and shoot my back as I go, and I'm a little concerned about that. So I'm very tempted, maybe I could do this one, which is I could do a small move, caddy corner this way, just to try and get some range, and then maybe fly through this on a future turn to vent more cubes. I think that's going to be the smart play. So, but this also gives me a free rotation. Do I do the free rotation? Like, do I rotate this way and then that doesn't make any sense. I think I need to get out of there. I think the better play is to just move as far as I can. I think I'm going to do the jump drive. So I assign my last 2 blue cubes. I'm going to do a tick away from him. So I'm going to do something like that. And I'm going to do a long. Even though he could probably hit me in the back, but my goal is to fly through this and vent some extra heat and power off later. But this puts me in a really bad position because now he's in my 180-degree back arc, which there's a penalty for that if I remember. I think it's a chance to hit kind of thing. I'll have to look it up if it ever comes up. But he's got 4 missiles on him. I'm hoping that'll slow him down a little bit, at least. Okay, well, that was my turn. And now we're going to move into his turn, and we're going to, at the start of his turn, he's going to 3 evasion. He's going to tick toward me once and then do a small move. So he's going to tick, and then he's going to do a small move like that. Okay, yeah, that's pretty bad. He hasn't even done anything yet. All right, so are there any missiles assigned to him? The answer is yes. So he's going to do some kind of anti-missile attack, and we're going to do what we did before. The quality of these missiles are a 5. So he needs to roll a 5 or better to try and shoot them down. And he got half of them, and the other 6, 6, 3, 4. So the 6s get through, 3 and 4 don't. So 2 missiles go away, and those stay. So that was his first action. His second action is, am I in his 45-degree arc? No. Am I in his, like, rear arc? Well, I guess from this arc back, I think I am. Wow. You know what? That's really tight. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to call that a no. And then he's going to long range and evade by 1. So he's going to just move forward 1. Oh gosh, how am I going to get in there? And don't hit the models. Okay, good. And his evasion score goes up by 1, which is here. I was barely out of arc there. So he's up to 4 evasion now. And he still has 1 more action. He did the first one, he did this one, and now he's going to do one of these. Okay, so I'm not in his 45, so am I now in his, like, rear arc? And the answer is definitely yes now. He's going to tick toward me twice, but that's it. That's the last thing he could do on his turn. So he's setting up to, like, wallop me. At this point, I'm just going to turn him twice by hand and do something like that. It would be a 90-degree turn at that point. So he's right behind me. Keeping in mind there's 2 missiles on him, so yeah. My turn, I have to set my evasion to 2. I get to remove 5 cubes. These auto blasters are kind of useless for me. I'm going to remove the jump engine, the 2s there. The maneuvering fins, those 2. And then 1 from here, or... Well, yeah, so I think 2 from here, 2 from here, and I have 1 left that I can remove. So, because I want to be maneuverable, I want to get out of there before he just, like, destroys me. So I think 1 red cube from the missile, and that's it. And then I have to do a tick and a long move. I'm definitely going to turn this way with my tick. And this is a very, like, long game. I thought one of us would be dead by now, to be fair. And now we're going to do a long move. And now I've landed on this cloud, which means I can now remove a heat for free. So, well, a blue or a red cube. I'm going to remove one of these red ones to safeguard myself. And now I'm going to do my part actions. So I can't do a missile attack right now. Oh, you know what? We forgot to roll for his missiles while it was his turn. We forgot to do that. Let's go ahead and do that real quick and see what happens to him. It's a quality of 5, so 2 dice. His evasion is, chance to hit is 0 plus his evasion score, which is 4. So I just need a 4 or better to hit him. And, a 4 and a critical hit. That's what I'm talking about. All right. And they do 2 damage each. So what's going to happen is he's going to take 4 damage. So he's going from 12 to 8. And now the critical hit comes in. Now, the way that works is there is a table that we're supposed to look at. We're going to roll a die, and one of these effects will take place. On a 0 through 3, he'll lose a turn, or like lose an action for his turn. On a 4 through 6, same thing, but also takes an extra damage. 7 through 8, he loses an action and takes 2 damage. And then on the critical, he gets a critical hit token, which we can cash in at any time to prevent him from doing something, and then also take 2 damage. So we're going to roll a die. And it is a 6, which is he loses an action for his next turn and takes an additional damage. He is down to 7. That's actually really good. Okay, so I have to remember, I'm going to put this on here. This is a critical hit token. I'm just going to put this on his next card, remind myself he has 1 less action for his next turn. That could actually help me out so I can set myself up for my future turn. I think what I need to do is get out of dodge, get my missiles sorted, and then come at him for another pass. Maybe just loop around or something. So I'm definitely going to do my jump engine. I'm going to spend 2 blue cubes. Do I want to tick? I want to avoid this because I don't want to give him missile defense, but I do want to maybe get in there for my next turn if I can. So I am going to turn... Here's the thing. I could just go straight and hopefully use this as cover in case he shoots, but maybe I just go straight on that. Just because if I turn and go, he's closer to me that way. So maybe I don't. Maybe I just go straight from here rather than tick. I'll just do a long. Just get out of dodge. Give myself time to repair and to vent. And then, do I want to do anything else? Maybe increase my evasion by 1. Keeping in mind, I need to make sure that I can clear these off, and whatever else I put on here. The autocannons, I'm not too worried about. But I will do 1 on the wings here so that I can get another evasion. That brings me up to 3. All right, so on my next turn, I'm hoping I can clear these off, clear this off, and clear that off, and then turn and do another missile attack on him. The question is, my rear is facing him, so I'm a little concerned that he'll do an extra damage regardless of what he rolls against me. So even if he misses on an attack and I'm in his back 90, or he's in my back 90, then he would get a +1 damage to whatever he rolls. Even if he misses, he's going to do a damage. Part of me is actually tempted to use the maneuvering fins to turn toward this and then just make a break for this field and take an extra turn to cool things down. Maybe I do. I only have 1 blue cube left, so that's not going to work. What I could do is spend the last blue cube here to turn. I'll tick it 1 like this. All right, it's not the best, but it kind of sets me up hopefully for the future. But there we go. Okay, I keep forgetting to use my cockpit, which is spend 1 or 2 power on this part to reroll that many dice. So I could be using this to reroll my missiles, but I was hoping not to have to do that because I'm really starved for power right now, as you can see. All right, so now we're going to move on to the AI's turn. And as a reminder, he does have a critical, well, not a critical, but he loses an action for this turn. He only has... Wow, so he had 2 actions, now he's down to 1. But first we're going to resolve this top part, which is reset his evasion to 3 from 4. And there. We can't get cocky. And then he's going to do a tick toward me and move short. A short range. Seems like keeping range on this is the way to go, at least against this model. So he's going to tick toward me. And I guess that's good enough. I don't have to do the full tick, as long as it's, yeah, that's about right. And now he's going to do a straight. And he's still possibly shooting through that cloud. I can't tell. I'll have to eyeball it. Anyway, so he does one action. And because, again, that one critical I scored on him prevents him from taking one action. So he's down to one action, which is, okay, is there any missiles assigned to him? No. However, am I in his 45? Yes. Am I at range 3? Yes. He's going to roll 2 dice, and we'll see what happens. It's a 2 plus my evasion of 3, which is 5. Can he shoot me? I mean, it looks like he can. Yeah, so he's going to miss the cloud. If he shoots me out of this 45 here, that's his... Yeah, so he's going to be able to shoot me without overlapping that cloud. So I do not get the soft cover bonus there. Had I stayed maybe over here, I would have gotten it, but I was trying to set up for my missiles, so that was my bad. But he's going to roll 2 dice, and it's a 5 and a blank. So the 5, let's see if that gets through. It's a 2 plus my evasion of 3, which is 5. So that 1 die is going to hit me for 2 damage, but the blank is going to miss me. So I'm going to take 2 damage, and I'm down to 9. Okay, I'm down to 9. Not great. But that's all he does for his turn. He normally would have had 2 actions there, but that critical really slowed him down. All right, so now it's my turn, and I'm going to do my reset my evasion to 2. I'm going to do 5 cubes from here. I'm going to get rid of these 2 from the missiles. I'm going to... What do I need? I need to turn around. I am at range 2. I really want to shoot some missiles at him and keep him going. So cleared that off. So that's 2, and then I say 3, and then 4, 5. Do I really need a long jump this turn? I'm thinking I do, just so that I can, or, yeah, I want a long jump this way once I'm done shooting, just to try and get into this field here. I think I do that. So I'm going to clear those off. So that's 5. Okay, so now I'm going to tick once if I want to, but I'm definitely going to. I need to face him, do something like that. I'm going to do a long, which is part of my forced chassis action. So now I'm in this here, and I get a free evasion. So I go from 2 to 3, because I've re-entered the field. The problem now is my 180 arc is not facing him. I need to turn so that I can get my missiles off. And I'm still at range 2. Great. So I just need to turn, and then I can use these. So I'm going to use my maneuvering fins, just the top half, just to use 1 blue cube. And I'm going to turn, just tick 1 time. Yeah, tick once. We'll do it from down here. Just tick once, so whoop, there we go. And my 180 is now facing him. So we're going to shoot those missiles. We're going to do, and he's, yeah, range 2 or 3. We're going to do 3 red cubes here and a blue, which I've got, and launch more. I think this is going to be the bread and butter here, is just getting into position to launch these missiles to the point where he can't shoot them down. Now the question is, with my 2 remaining blue cubes, do I do a jump? And like, if I jump, I'll end up here, and possibly he'll be able to hit me from, my base may be off the edge of this obstacle, and he could hit me. So maybe I stay there and then clear cubes off on mine. I think that's going to be the smart play. Okay, his turn. Let's see what he does. He's going to, at the start of his turn, he's going to reset his evasion to 3, which it is. He's going to tick toward me once and do a short move. Okay, so he's going to tick toward me once. I keep losing my template. All right, so he's going to tick toward me. And again, I'm going to eyeball it as best it doesn't have to be a full tick. That's about right, I guess. That's about right. And now he's going to move short 1 forward. See, had I moved here, my base would have been like, it would have been a really nasty thing. All right, so he's going to do that. Now, this is actually kind of bad for me because he's right there and he's got 3 actions, so he's going to get some shots off. Is he within range 2, 3, or 4? plus? The answer is he's in range 1, so he's not going to do the first one, which is do a long and then an evade. Are there any missiles on him that would do 9 damage or more? The answer is no. These do 2 damage apiece. So 2, 4, 6, 8 is 8. So he's going to ignore that, but then he's going to say, okay, range 1, he's going to attack me instead in his forward arc, which he has, and he's going to roll 6 dice and then do 1 damage each if he hits me. He needs a 2 plus my evade. Now, keeping in mind, this is where this gets, again, confusing. Could he... Is it closest to closest? Like, closest base to closest base would be, like, here. He'd be shooting through that soft cover there. So, to me... I mean, yes, this part is sticking out, but in X-Wing, it's closest base to closest base. So, like, if we were going to measure closest to closest, it would be here to here, and he'd be shooting through that soft. So I'm going to treat it that way, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. The developer can chime in if he'd like to. But I'm going to get soft cover on that, which is another +2 to hit, which is nice. So I had 3 evasion because I had entered this, and then I get an additional +2 because of this soft cover that I've got, which is kind of nice. And he also needs 2 to hit as well. So 2 plus my evasion of 3 plus this is 2, it's 7. So he needs 7 on his dice to hit me. So 6 dice, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No 7s, please. Ooh, this is nasty. 8 and a critical, the rest miss. So this is bad. This is bad. 8 and a critical. So that's 2 damage, because they each do 1 point of damage against me. And I'm down to 7. But my special ability is... My special ability is, there it is. Before a critical hit location on the ship is rolled, normally you'd have to roll a die and see which of these systems go offline. If none of my systems are disabled, I get to choose. And I'm going to choose to disable my autocannons here. I'm not using them right now. So I could also disable the cockpit. I'm not really using them, but I think I am going to use them for when these missiles do try to hit. If I can get some really good rolls in there, I can take them out. So I think I'm going to get rid of my autocannon and make it disabled, but these two blue power cubes do come back to me. But that means that system is now disabled, which is bad. Now that was 1 action. His second action is he at range 1? The answer is yes. He's going to try and ram me, I think, but I don't think he's close enough to actually do it. It says ram target, but I mean, if he moves, it says move short toward me. So if he did that, he's still not touching me. So you would ignore the rest of the card in that, like you would ignore the ram target thing. He didn't actually ram me. So he's not going to ram me there. This is not an attack as far as I can tell. This is a ram target attack, which is something special. So that was 2 actions. So he did this one, he did this one. Am I in his side arc, which I am? He's going to tick toward me. No. Am I anywhere in his... I am. So the top half of my model is beyond that line. So that means, yes, there is a part of my ship that is beyond his 90. So he's going to tick toward me as much as he can. And that ends his turn, except for those missiles. So he's going to tick twice. I'm going to eyeball it. And there. He's pointing right at me at this point. But now, at the end of his turn, this could make it or break it. These missiles are going to kick in. His evasion is only 3. Which is really good. Chance to hit is 0 plus his evasion score. He doesn't have anything going for him, so I just need 3s or better on these missiles, and hopefully I get something good out of it. 2 criticals, a 1, and a 7. I'm going to use my cockpit to re-roll that 1. Just 1 blue cube to re-roll 1 die. This could be it. 2. Of course it's a 2. So that one still doesn't hit, unfortunately, despite me trying to do that. But each of these do 2 damage. 2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6. So he's down to 1 health from 7. But now we resolve the critical hits, and there's 2 of them. And I'm going to roll 2 dice. And depending on the chart here, we'll see what happens. It's a 7. I can't see. I couldn't see. Yeah. It might have been a 1. You know what? I think it might have been a 1. So it's a 1 and a 2. That is the worst possible roll. And do you know why? Because on a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or a critical, he would have died. So we're going to, again, I can't see very well, but I think that was a 1. And he would just simply lose 2 actions for his next turn, which I could have killed him had I rolled better than this 1 and 2, but that's still not bad. He loses 2 actions for his next turn. This is a reminder that he loses 2 actions for his next turn. But those missiles are really decent, and now I need to do 1 damage to him just to finish him off. I just don't know how I'm going to do it. So it is now my turn. And I have to set my evasion to 2. Okay. And I need to get rid of 5 cubes. Definitely, 5 cubes. What do I do? I feel like I need to get away from him so I can do another missile attack. I need to survive long enough to do another missile attack. But I don't think I can clear these off. What I could do is aim for this and help me clear off more, and then turn and just shoot those missiles. I think that's what I've got to do. So I'm going to do maneuvering fins, wings, cockpit, and at this point, nah. So 2 there, 2 and 3 from here. All right, so there's that. Now we're going to possibly tick, which we are definitely going to do away from him, like that. And then we do a long move up to here. And that was our chassis. Now we move into parts. We've cleared this off, so we could do another long, and I think that's what we do. We get out of there. We get out of dodge. We clear off some more heat. I think that's what we do. Even though he's going to move through this and get an evasion, I feel like, you know, at this point I need to set myself up. So I'm going to do a jump here, a long jump, and I'm going to do a, do I want to do a tick first before I do that? I could tick toward, maybe I don't tick at all. Maybe I don't tick. Maybe I just stay like that and then I turn. I think that's going to be the better move. Then I set myself up for missiles on my next turn. I think I'm going to do that. So, because he's hurting from that 1 missile attack. He's not dead, but he's hurting. So I am going to do a long move here. I could do the Yui. And risk it all and put myself in a really good spot, but I don't think I want to do that. I don't want to overcommit. So I'm going to do a long without ticking. That puts me into this cloud, like so, and I get a free removal of something. I think I'm going to remove this last missile pod. And that's not bad because if I did turn, I'm not in range 2 though, unfortunately. Actually, you know what? I am still in range 2. That could, okay. All right. The problem with that is on his next turn, he may end up here and get that extra evasion, but I think I need to risk it. I'm going to use my maneuvering fins to tick 180 degrees. No, tick twice, that's 90. So I'm going to do 1 and then 2. There we go. And now I'm going to use my missiles. I'm at range 2, so 3 red cubes. And I'm at range 2/3, so I get to shoot 4 more missiles at him. And I'm hoping that these end up finishing the job when the time comes. Keep putting that pressure on him. But that's all I dare to do. I think I need to keep some things in reserve. Having that cockpit would have been nice, but at this point, I'll just be happy if any of that gets through. I do have some soft cover here, which is great too. All right, so getting to his turn, he needs to shuffle this deck again. Okay, awesome. And it's going to reveal a card, and he's got, okay, so he's going to reset his dial to 3 evasion, which it is. He's going to do a short, he's going to tick toward me and do a short. So he's going to tick toward me and do a short. All right, So he's going to tick that way, and he's going to do a short move there. He moved on to the debris field, which means he gets a free evasion there. He's up to 4. Now here's the thing. From the last turn, he lost 2 turns. So his turn, he doesn't do any of these. That's it. That's his turn. And now the missiles will fly at him, and if I manage to hit him one time, the game's over, but we'll see how that plays out. Chance to hit is a 0 plus his evasion of 4. I just need a single 4 or better on these dice. Oh yeah, 7, 7, 4, 1. So I hit him 3 times. That is 6 damage, because they each do 2 apiece. He goes from 1 to -5, and he is destroyed. That was okay. That wasn't terrible. Again, the missiles, I don't think... The missiles are technically... he does not get soft cover for the missiles. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that his chance to hit would not go up, as I'm not shooting through the debris with the missiles. The missiles are kind of like already on him at this point, and now they're just waiting to collide. The only time that they get... Anytime missiles get some kind of defense, or a ship gets some kind of defense against missiles, would be something like this obstacle here, which has this little missile icon. But I'm pretty sure he would not get a +2 to his chance to hit. Even if he did, this 7 and 7 would have been enough to kill him anyway. So there you go, folks. That was my first actual match against the AI, and it went pretty well. Very challenging. I think I figured out my ship, missiles for the win. If you can just keep at bay, keep yourself away from him, use your speed to get away from him, launch your missiles, and I think that's the strategy. This guy likes it up close. He wants to get in there and ram you. That's his special ability. So there you go, folks. That was a quick, well, not so quick game of Snap Ship Tactics. If I have time, I'll be happy to record more playthroughs. If the developer's watching and wants to send me more models to show off, hey, I'm digging this. So Snap Ships Tactics works very well as a single player game as well. This is Vince. Thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all next time. Take care.